Hello and welcome to this short visual guide on how to use your new EDAN monitor. Our aim is that by the end of this guide you should be able to take your monitor into theatre, easily and quickly connect all the leads and immediately have an easy to read trace that you understand. For an in-depth guide into anaesthetic monitoring, I would direct you to our free online CPD. But here I would like to give you just a little refresher. But any anaesthetic monitoring machine is only useful if you understand the information that it is giving you. Remember that in the surgery you are still the most important anaesthetic monitor. What you hear, what you see, what you feel, what you smell even, is all vital information. The downside is that this is point monitoring, as in it's only giving you information at the point at which you sample the parameter, such as taking the heart rate, checking the palpebral reflex or the jaw tone. What a monitor will do is continuously monitor throughout the entire anaesthetic period, and this allows you to visualise trends and changes during the anaesthetic. So a simple monitor such as the EDAN monitor will help you in two ways. As I say, first of all, it will indicate trends and the direction in which things like the heart rate, oxygen saturation and carbon dioxide are heading. And following on from that, the second thing it will help you with is to predict the direction of the anaesthetic so that you can implement changes before the animal starts to show signs of decompensation. In the recent study published by Brodveld and his colleagues into peri-anaesthetic mortality and morbidity, it categorically showed that pulse oximetry in conjunction with capnography helped to reduce morbidity and mortality. And therefore there is no justification anymore in not using these simple monitoring aids to help advance the quality of anaesthesia in your practice. So looking at the machine itself, it runs off an electricity supply which plugs into the back. It also has an emergency inbuilt battery, so should you lose electricity during the anaesthesia, you will still get a readout on the screen until power is restored. This first button on the left hand side is the on button. You need to connect in your adapters. First of all, we'll connect in the end-tidal CO2 adapter. The adapter plugs in under here with a simple push and click. And this attaches to the front part of your machine in the same manner. Next, we will connect the pulse ox. It's colour coded and again pushes in a simple push and click fashion. The next button on the front is the alarm silence. If one of your parameter limits is reached and the alarm goes off, a simple press of the button will silence it, giving you a few seconds to correct the problem. If the problem is not corrected or it reoccurs, the alarm will reactivate. To silence the alarm for a longer period of time, press and hold for longer than 2 seconds. It would then flash in this manner to alert you that the alarm is silenced. The next button along is the end-tidal CO2 monitoring button. When you first connect your adapter, it will not instantly start to monitor end-tidal CO2 until you select this button. This is so that it does not continuously alarm if you do not have it connected to the patient. Once you press it and it is lit, you will start to see an end-tidal CO2 trace when it is connected to the patient. The last button along the bottom changes the way in which you visualise the trace. It is unlikely that you will need to use this during routine anaesthesia. At the side we have a menu button, simple navigation up and down buttons and a select. Again, the last button is used to connect to a printer, but it is unlikely that you will find a need to use this. In theatre, when you first switch on the machine, if you select the menu button, you can input information such as patient data, etc. It's unlikely that you would do this for each patient, but the option is there if you would like to. What you must do, however, is check the alarm setup and the carbon dioxide levels. To check the alarm setup, scroll down through the menu until Alarm Setup is highlighted and select. You will be able to see that the end tidal CO2 alarm is on for values between 60 and 20. Similarly, the pulse rate for values between 160 and 75. If you are happy with these, then scroll down to Exit and select. If you would like to change them, then scroll up to the value which you would like to change. When it is highlighted, you can select it, press up and down to whichever level you would like, select again, and it is changed. When you're done, scroll down to Exit. If you've just attached a new adapter, you will need to zero it first. To do this, scroll to CO2 Setup and select. The last option on the menu is Zero Cal. Making sure that your adapter is nowhere near a source of carbon dioxide, select and switch on the monitoring. It should say Zero Calibrating. When it is zeroed, you can then exit that menu. To come out of the menu screen, simply press the menu button again. Once the monitor is set up, you should take your V-gel and attach the Lure lock to the designated port. That way, as soon as your V-gel is in situ, you will instantly get a trace when the patient breathes out, and you will know that you have the correct positioning. Next, you should attach your pulse ox probe. Remember to use the correct size adapter for the size patient that you're anaesthetising. This can be connected to any area of unpigmented skin. Typically, we use the tongue, but you can also use the webbing between the toes, an ear pinner, the prepuce, or the sheath. It is worth remembering that during the course of the anaesthetic, the capillaries across which it is measuring will become compressed, and therefore periodically you should move and moisten the probe and reattach to make sure you do not get an erroneous readout. Also, overhead fluorescent lighting will affect the interpretation that the machine actually picks up, so it is worth protecting this using strategic draping. And that's it, you're up and monitoring. For more in-depth information on ways in which to respond to the simple problems which your EDAN monitor may detect during anaesthesia, then I will direct you to our free online CPD on anaesthetic monitoring. I would also advise that you start to use your monitor straight away on simple, short anaesthetic procedures before moving on to more complex conditions. Thank you.